Speaking of drama, what's up, Mike? Are you trying to make me leave you?
I'm trying to help you.
Ask me out.
How about you ask me out?
The sex is gonna be electric. Will you go out with me?
I ain't scared of you. Lydia, I got a date.
A date? You just trying to keep me from taking all your money.
I can get her out of your hair.
And how you plan on doing that?
All right. Well, I did not expect a Bruh Season 3B trailer. Yeah, Season 3B. Gotta say, I gotta be completely transparent. And I don't know if I mentioned this in my Ruthless trailer breakdown, but when I was taking notes, there were some characters I'm like, who the hell is this person? Like, I know the characters, but I had to look up Claudia and Dina because I know the storylines, but I could not think of their name. But to be fair, these were characters who were just recently introduced. But yeah, I knew, Mike and John and Bill and Tom. Almost got mixed up with Greg for a hot second. But other than that, I'm good. Just like with Ruthless, I could recognize the character by face and what their storyline was. But some of the names just escaped me because it's been a while since Bruh and Ruthless have been on the air. Sheesh. Alright, well, to be completely honest, this video shouldn't be too long. Not much to get from it, which isn't a bad thing because remember, we're just picking up where we left off and Bruh's been pretty straightforward this season. I honestly cannot remember my exact impressions on Season 3, at least the first half. I know I did not like the mid-season finale very well. I can't remember episode scores, but I do remember not really liking how Regina was being portrayed and the Lydia storyline was getting just way out of hand. And there was barely any Mike. But maybe in the back half they'll make up for it. So, the trailer itself was over a minute long. That's why I didn't play the entire thing at the beginning of this video. If you want to watch the entire thing, I may post it separately. And then I'll put a link in the comment section below. So make sure you watch the entire trailer before watching this video. But like I said, there really isn't too much to dissect. For starters, the show comes back December 1st, which, wow, that is next week. Next Thursday is when the show comes back. And if I remember correctly, Ruthless is the 8th, so basically next week is Bruh, then the following week is Ruthless. There you go. Alright, and from there, we have, I don't know how they're going to release Bruh, if they're going to do the 3 episodes the first week, and then 1 episode every week after, or if it'll just be 2 each week, which I am actually fine with. Like, release it like Zatima. That works. I really like that, function because it feels like we're getting more out of the episodes because Bruh was one of those shows where it just wasn't strong enough to be a once a week kind of thing, at least for 1 episode. If you give us 2, I feel like that's good, but that's just my opinion. Now, to get into the breakdown itself, let's see. We have John and Mike in the sandwich shop. Maybe it's because I haven't seen Bruh in so long, but the camera angles and the camera work looks a lot better. Maybe it's because I haven't seen Bruh in so long, because Bruh, I don't think it's ever been a weak show in terms of how it looked. The BET Plus series of Tyler Perry always have a knack for just looking so crisp. So yeah, I think it's because I just haven't seen Bruh in so long. But yeah, they're in the sandwich shop. Good to see Mike, suit and tie, looking energetic. And there's a guy knocking on the door, and John asks if this is like a drug deal or something. And Mike's like, hey, man, don't worry about it. He's like, hey, don't slam the door. At first, I didn't think it was a drug dealer, but I thought, okay, what if this is like Mike's, one of the people from the rehab center who's just checking in on him and like, hey, man, don't be late for your appointment. But because I thought he had a badge around his neck, but then I noticed it was just a chain, and I'm like, wait a minute, this could be a drug dealer. And then John's like, I ain't scared of you. Mike kind of braces for a punch. He goes, ah! So, yeah, John's still scared. Because if I remember correctly, the last time these two were in the sandwich shop together, that was when Mike hit John and he fell and knocked over a table. Miss Alice put it on World Star. Yeah, Miss Alice won't in the trailer. I knew it was missing something. Yeah, Miss Alice, put it on World Star. People were eating it up. So, man. Miss Alice. All right. Speaking of Mike, there is a blink and you miss a moment. Greg is at a restaurant with Pam. I don't think they're on a date. I just feel like they're just interacting to talk about Mike. Since remember, Pam knows Mike works at the hospital like Tom, so maybe she's asking for like references or any ways to get him in rehab, because maybe Mike quit the program, because later on we see him over at his loft looking through like a bunch of letters and things like that, possibly paperwork that Pam gave him, and he goes, "What, are you trying to make me leave you?" And she's like, "I'm trying to help you." So something tells me that the program with Natalie, who I really wish was still in the show, I guess maybe he quit for some reason. Perhaps maybe after one or two weekends at the place, he's like, you know what, I'm good. And then he decides to do it on his own. Or during the week in between the weekend retreats, he's not keeping up with the program. And as a result, Pam is worried. So from there, we go over to John telling Lydia that he has a date. And Lydia is like, a date? And, she's kind of like creeping around as there. It's kind of like a standoff in the living room of his apartment. So I wonder why Lydia is there. I know that Miss Alice is still trying to say, hey, go talk to that girl and stuff. And it's like, no, after what she did, despite being fine, she's crazy. But even I have to say, well, is she really psychotic or is she just misunderstood? But then I remember she did kill her ex. So there's that. And not to mention, she does have that satanic voice when she's mad. So yeah. It's been a while since I watched the show. Hopefully I didn't make that up. But I feel like I vaguely remember what did you say, John? You will have my child. I mean, what? So I don't know. Maybe I made that up. Maybe not. I feel like she did for comedic purposes. Then you have Tom and Dina. They're at the vending area of the hospital. And I think Tom is like, so why don't you ask me on a date? Or if he said, so why did you ask me on a date? And she was like, well, because the sex was going to be electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. You gotta feel it. It's electric. And you can't. Okay. I'm sorry. I cannot stop seeing Myra from Family Matters. What was her name? Myra Boutros Monkhouse or whatever. Fine as hell. I can't help it. And she's fun size too. As a guy who's 5'7", 5'8", I forgot my height. I feel like, we will work out. But why did I sound like Michael Jackson when I said, I don't know. She's fun size and I think it will work out. Me and Dina will be a good couple. So, Shimon. All right. I guess this is interesting because the last scene of the mid-season finale was her in a drunken state constantly shoving Greg, and he slapped her, even though kind of like Hayden slapping Fatima and sisters. This only came after she was physically hitting him multiple times. So I guess she's not pressing charges or anything, because it seems kind of weird to have a drunken Dina verbally harassing both men and then physically harassing Greg. Then she gets slapped. And then she's trying to get another date with Tom. So I wonder if he's going to say yes. I'm seriously wondering about that. Because Tom, if you ain't, then, hell, I'll come up there and I'll ask her out myself. So the other thing to talk about in this trailer is really this trailer really spends a lot of time on the Bill and Claudia storyline. Now, remember, he and Regina are freshly married. They've been married for 36, 48 hours. I forgot how long it was. It ain't even been half a week. Pretty much how it feels like on the Oval. Like Hunter's barely been in the White House for like a week and all this hell's being raised. But Regina is getting, more suspicious. Like, what? Who is she? Hey, and then Bill's like, you're just being really paranoid right now. And then later on in the trailer, she's like, you just keep trying to keep me from taking all your money. And I'm like, are we still on this? But then again, I get it. Just the show's been gone for a long time, and it's going to pick up where we left off. And this trailer at at the Regina bits, it just reminded me why I didn't like her for most of this season, because she's weaponizing the divorce button to take half of Bill's shit, even though he was stupid for proposing, you know, that quickly after sex, after she just agreed to move in. So, yeah. Then her mom's there too, briefly. Regina's like cackling on the couch. Also, the actress that plays Regina is very funny. I've seen her in a lot of the Kev on Stage skits on the Kev on Stage app. And same with Gwen Waters. I'm sorry if I said the name wrong, but you might know her best as Laura on House of Pain. She was in Medea Family Funeral, and she also played Gina on Have and Have Nots. But yeah, these two are very good with their comedic timing, so I think it's pretty cool to see them in other non-Tyler Perry projects, which is awesome. But yeah, she's cackling on the couch with her mom. And we have a couple of scenes where Bill is with Claudia, and he's like, and I think first of all, I believe they're at Tom's apartment. I'm like, Bill, this is your boy's apartment, and Greg. So I'm like, why are you like taking advantage of, wait, I mean, this does look like Tom's apartment, but this could be one of those houses that, houses or apartment or condos that Regina's cleaning company takes care of. So this could just be off the books. Maybe. But in any case, he's like, look, we shouldn't be doing this. And she's like, well, this is what you're going to be missing out on. And Bill's like, okay, just one last time. Yeah, one more time. So then Tom is telling John about Claudia's husband. And then he also talks to Bill about it. It's like, look, you know, he's, you know, gangstered up. So he's going to kill you, Bill. I love how Tom just says it so calm, like, hey, Bill, I know, you know, you wanted to get out the marriage and whatnot by having this affair, or, you know, forget about your marriage by having this affair, but you know, that woman's husband gonna, you know, fuck you up, so there's that. But then we have a conversation between Bill and Claudia, and she's like, hey, I can get her out of your hair. And Bill's like, oh, and how do you plan on doing that? And Claudia gives a little so I mean, is Claudia, I don't know, Claudia seems to have a little Lydia in her. Is she talking about taking Regina off the table completely, as in, you know, hey, are we going to have a bruh family funeral up in here? But in any case, that's pretty much the trailer in a nutshell. And that's all I have to say, to be honest. I do hope the back half of the season is a bit stronger than the first half. Like I say, I don't remember everything about the first half, but that's the beauty of my channel. There is a review for every flipping episode. And also just a, you know, word of caution, if you will. Just like with Assisted Living, I will review the show for a little while. If the views are not there for maybe the first couple of weeks, I might drop it. We'll have to wait and see. So if you want me to watch well, I'm going to watch Bruh regardless, just like with Assisted Living. I watch them all. I'm just not doing the reviews because they're not getting any views. If I do these Bruh reviews and the views aren't good, then I will drop the show probably around week 3. Or, considering how YouTube Shorts are doing incredibly well on the channel, maybe I'll do like short form reviews, where I'll do reviews in like 45 seconds or something, and go from there. Hell, that might actually be kind of fun. So we'll have to wait and see. But regardless, thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and let me know if you are excited for Bruh's return by hitting the thumbs up button. And I will catch you in the next video.